Bonjour everyone, welcome to your June forecast. This is for all zodiac signs, your sun, moon and rising. Make sure that you look at all three and synthesize them together. So June is great. June is a very calm month. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks also with Mercury retrograde that's coming up, just so you can really, just basically some essentials that you need to know with Mercury in Cancer. And it will be retrograding all the way from, it actually goes retrograde at the end of June, but the pre-shadow begins in like June 13th, which is when you really need to actually start treating it like a retrograde, because you start to feel all the effects of it. So I'm going to begin with Cancer, because Cancer, you have one of the luckiest aspects ever happening in your zodiac sign. Everyone will benefit from the Venus-Jupiter conjunction, but particularly you, because it's in your sign. And also Mercury is in your sign the beginning of the month. It's a very big month for you, very beneficial, one of the most beneficial months of the year. Things do get more chaotic for everyone in July, just saying. So I'm just enjoy June. Okay, so Cancer, the beginning of the month, Mercury enters your sign. So this is a time to really get organized, you know, really start to refresh your habits. Maybe you want to check in with yourself, check in with the way that you look. You have got Venus and Jupiter in your sign. So this is changing your appearance also. And that's going to be happening for you June 9th. So that it could be someone gifting you something very extravagant. It could be a boss or co-worker, because the moon that day will be in the 10th house of your career. But essentially it's a huge upgrade. Someone is going to be very generous with you. I do think for some Cancers you could be committing to travel, because Jupiter naturally rules the 9th. But essentially this is you and a partner together, someone giving you a lot of generosity. They're not like being cheap whatsoever. They could be gifting you something that, yeah, you just feel pretty much overwhelmed by. It's very, very good news for you, Cancer. And obviously it could be to do with the home and family, because the moon naturally rules your sign, and Cancer is all about family. So yeah, a very beautiful day for you, June 9th. Venus enters Leo June 13th, which is your money house, so you can expect new money to flow in. It will oppose Pluto in Aquarius, which is your 8th house. So like you're seriously looking at where to sort of invest your money. You're looking at you know, new ways to earn money, but it could be a little bit of a power struggle just initially anyway, because that's just the theme of Venus opposite Pluto. It's kind of a little bit competitive, and you could be wanting to get someone to agree to something that you're sort of struggling to get them to agree to. But that could change for you on June 15th, once we have the new moon in Gemini. That new moon is in your 12th house, and you know, the new moon in the 12th is peak manifestation, especially when you've got the ruler of the 12th, Mercury, in your sign. It is moving away from Saturn, because it's in a bit of a square. So I think you're going to change your mind about something mid-month. Like, I feel like you're taking a new direction, a new approach to things. I think you're looking at what hasn't worked, and like what works in terms of like fine-tuning your communication. I think that those are the themes that are really, really coming up for you. Mercury will be sextile Mars in your 11th house. So, you know, that's a lot of magnetism. That's a lot of popularity that's coming through mid-month. Like your audience should grow, people supporting your business. And I do think there is an emphasis on friends and healing throughout the month of June. Just be aware, if you're trying to manifest, like June 15th is a great day to really do that, and to tune into what you're trying to fully bring into how you want people to perceive you. Essentially, it's a time when you can really upgrade your voice and communication, because this is a Mercury ruled new moon. Mercury also rules your 3rd house. So yeah, really think about the intentions that you're setting that day. Mars enters Gemini the end of the month, and that's the time you kind of, your hidden enemies will be exposed. And so that can kind of look like people just start communicating with you. Could be your friends, and it's just like you can just pick up on the tone in their voice, like it just kind of changes, and they sort of expose their true intentions, like that energy comes up. Also a lot of past energy, like I'm going for a Mars transit right now in my 12th house, and I'm not enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie, it's like I haven't been sleeping very well. I've been having a lot of nightmares, but I have also been doing a lot of healing work through that, and looking at the parts of myself that aren't healed and what's coming up and what I need to sort of let go of. It is very deep, a great time to cleanse and just be honest with yourself. Like, what do you want? What are you denying yourself of? Because it's really your like deep subconscious desires. So yeah, I'm going through that right now. And the end of the month, Mercury will station retrograde in your sign. So that is when, like, expect the unexpected. Like like I really feel like now that Uranus is in Gemini, your 12th house, the ruler of Gemini, Mercury, stationing retrograde, it will surprise you. I think that your life's about to shift in a way you didn't expect. I think that there's more coming in, like people will be providing more for you, especially the end of July onwards into like March of 2028. But I think you're going to start to see what things deeply need addressing right now to create that emotional stability and foundation. Then there's a full moon in Capricorn, the end of June, which will directly impact your partnerships and you, especially if you're a Cancer rising at like 8 degrees. Like, you're gonna know like what relationships need to just be dissolved. That's also a Scorpio degree, which is an absolute end to something in a partnership. Like, if we look at where Saturn is, that's the ruler of the moon, it's actually in a T-square that day. So Saturn is in the 10th house. You could be done with some sort of career, like you're moving on now, and which kind of does make sense because the North Node and the South Node are moving into your 2nd and 8th houses. It doesn't mean to say that you're going to ditch your job, but it could be like a part of your job that you're just done with. I mean, for some of you it will be. You've completed something, it's come to an end. But this also can be to do with partnerships, not just romantic, not just career, but also romantic. Venus is in your 2nd house. It's trining Saturn, which is the ruler of the moon. So there is some deep conversations there to do with your core values. Maybe they're being met, maybe they're not being met. This doesn't have to be like it's just a moon of lessons, because it's a Saturn ruled moon, and especially in Capricorn, it's like it could be that you and a partner are both moving on in a new direction together or apart. Either way, it's going to benefit both of you. Yeah, it's kind of like a mutual agreement. So and I do think for you, you're just kind of done with something because you're naturally ruled by the moon. The beginning of the month is definitely the better half. I do think that is a very sweet ride for you. And then like the end of the month as well, June 30th, Jupiter will finally enter Leo for the next 12 months, which will begin a new 12 months of money, income, maximum money coming in. Jupiter in the 2nd house doesn't happen straight away. Like it kind of like, it takes time to sort of build up. So don't like come at me if it hasn't just started straight away, but it will grow. Okay, so I'm going to now move on to Capricorn. We'll do the cardinal signs first and then we'll move on. So Capricorn, this is all about partnerships, generous partnerships, coming together with a partner. Could be an old partner that comes back mid-month. There is a lot of new money coming in, new ways of earning money. You're changing your opinion on something. Your day-to-day is going to change mid-month. Your 9 to 5 will change mid-month. New habits, new health routines. But essentially, the beginning of the month is gorgeous for you and a partner. Like it's finally your time. finally your time to be in a happy partnership. And also just like partnerships will be very generous with you in general. So enjoy that, Capricorn. You definitely deserve it. And just to have a little deeper look into it. So because this can be to do with your career also. It could be like a family business. It could be a celebration of some kind, a promotion. You get promoted in your job. It's definitely a time that you and a partner will be definitely celebrating together. So high five to you. Venus entering Leo again is like a spouse getting a raise. There's a lot of love, money and intimacy coming forward because that's your 8th house. The new moon in Gemini is like, okay, there is a whole new pathway being set for you. It's big because Uranus is in your 6th house, and that started a new cycle to 2033, and this is the first new moon in Gemini since Uranus ingressed there. So it's like, this is really where you start to see that new beginning, that new job, that new career, your new habits, that will all start happening for you. Sorry, I always get an itchy nose when I'm filming YouTube. And so the end of the month, Mercury retrograde will be happening in your 7th house. So that's like you and a partner, existing relationships, kind of going back over things, very nostalgic. You could hear back from your ex. And then the full moon in Capricorn is like, you are done with something. Like you are shedding a whole new, like you're shedding an old skin. The moon is very emotionally expressive. You could be done with a partner. The moon rules your partnership house. Or you and a partner are moving forward together in a whole new way, like you're moving direction. For some of you, because Saturn is in your 4th house, you could be moving home. Anyway, things kind of do end there in terms of like what you're planning with your family. It's like it's closing a chapter. You're deciding on a new direction. You might even sell a house, but it's a big day to kind of like release that emotion. There could be some interaction with family members, but it's like you're completely done with a chapter. You're done with a chapter and you've been holding this is like years and years. I'm just going to have a quick look actually while we're here. I'm just going to go back real quick and just have a look at I think it was November of 2025. Where is it? Oh, no, it was actually January this year. Sorry, just bear with me because this is good for you. Yeah, January 18th this year. Okay, so that new moon was the full moon to this, and that new moon was at a Cancer degree. And Saturn was in Pisces then. Okay, so you're communicating something with your family. That's what's happening because that's your 3rd house. So you're going to have a conversation with your family and you're kind of setting them straight. No more. That's what we're doing. This is what we're prepared to do. Like there's a very firm boundary being set the end of June. Okay, I just wanted to give you that piece of information because you're now moving in a whole new direction. This is for you. This moon is for you. It's very healing for you. Like you're finally taking control of something in your life and you're not backing down. These are new emotional boundaries. Okay, so let's go back now to, where were we? I've gone back into the past and now I need to come back to the present. Okay, so I'm going to move on now to the next zodiac sign is Libra. So this is the best month for career for you. Okay, so Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, all together in your career house. Celebrations, reconciliations, high honors the first week of the week. It's like you're getting recognized. You're like the golden girl. Whatever profession that you're in, you could also get promoted. You see a big raise come in, a big paycheck. At the very least, like, you know, you could reconnect with a parent, basically. June 13th, Venus enters Leo, which makes you the popular gal. You're the one that everybody's kind of moving toward as like the big influencer. So I think that's really going to actually impact, like, just support your career. But there could be someone that exposes themselves that's very jealous because Venus is opposite Pluto that day. They're kind of like calling you out. I think that's very relevant. You know, just a little bit of a power struggle there with someone challenging you. But you yourself are really going after, you know, that thing that you want to create, that piece of artwork that you want to create. That can also be another manifestation of that aspect. The new moon is wonderful for you in Gemini. That's really going to change your mind about something, and people really are gravitating towards you about some sort of information that you know. They're taking you very seriously, your words seriously, what you're saying. I think that someone may have challenged your authority in a career or something, and it's just pissed you off. And so this is kind of clearing the air there. And I'm talking about that Venus opposition. And, you know, that it's just a good time to like think about travel as well, like where you're traveling to, what study that you want to embody, because that's going to really help you with your career. Knowledge is power. Chiron enters Taurus June 13th. For you, that's healing past agreements, debt. You could clear a lot of debt, karmic debt, financial debt, and also just that fear of lack of security, basically. The sun will enter Cancer June 21st, which is the solstice. Really, that's dictative of the next 6 months, and as we kind of move into the next chapter of the year, it's big. So it's kind of like the brand new career for you. And then Mars entering Gemini, I mean, people will just be arguing with you, and you might be arguing with them. Just try not to waste your breath with that. It's a great time to get paperwork done. If you've been behind on paperwork, get the fucking paperwork done. And then like Mercury retrograde will be happening for you in Cancer. So kind of going over old work projects will be absolutely amazing. Maybe having some deep conversations with parents. The full moon in Capricorn is a very, there's a big finality to this full moon. So you could decide to move. You could decide that you're moving on with your career, that you want to be more of an entrepreneur around this time, that it's really taking ownership of something. But Saturn for you is, now it's in your 7th house. So this is partners also. Like, are you done in a partnership somewhere, or you kind of you complete a project with a partner? If we look at Mars is in Gemini, and that's the depositor of Aries, and that's where the ruler of this moon is, Saturn. So it's kind of like that would indicate that it could be a law, something legal, like it could be to do with like an agreement that finally you get the results that you were waiting for, especially because Mercury is retrograde conjunct Jupiter, which is the natural ruler of the 9th. So it's like, could be a legal case that comes in and finally gets closed. So end of the month, Jupiter enters Leo, which is huge, absolutely massive for your popularity. Wow, could go viral if you're a content creator. New friends though, whole new friends, groups, organizations. Okay, so the next zodiac sign we have is, who do we have next? Aries. This is all about your home and family, a lot of get-togethers. I feel like a lot of Aries are going to be grieving for some reason, like in terms of like, because they're just so happy to see these people, like that kind of like joyful tears. But your family is kind of expanding, and your home life is expanding. There's people coming back, basically. Venus rules your partnerships, so finally getting together with someone and having that love that's been held out from you for too long. There's a lot of love coming in June, like romance. You could meet someone June 13th. I think there's some positive messages, some information coming in mid-month with that new moon in Gemini. I think this is going to really shift things for you. I think that you're kind of sort of awakening essentially to I feel like to the opportunities that you've sort of been missing. There's new information coming in. I do think there's some seriousness happening. Okay, so for me, what I see leadership happening. You're taking more of a leadership role at home in the month of June. And I think you're going to have to put the hard word on some family members. Just saying. But I think that you're taking this, that new moon is very much you stepping into your authority in terms of how you're communicating with family. Because it's squaring Saturn in your sign. The ruler of the moon is squaring Saturn in your sign. Do you know, I think as a Gemini rising, sometimes I accidentally just skip over words, and like it's sometimes because like my partner will reflect it back to me and I'll just be like, oh yeah, I did just miss out half that conversation. Like I do have to be more detail orientated, but also I do have a Virgo South Node, so just saying I need to let go of worrying about that. I know it makes sense to you. The full moon in Capricorn is like massive for your job. So Saturn is in your sign, the ruler of the moon. I think that you might be like possibly letting go of a partner. You're done with working with a certain group of people. I think that this is great for career completion, career projects. You know, if you've been trying to work towards something, this is a great time when you'll be finishing that, getting recognized for what you do in the world. But I do think you're sort of moving on from a career, or moving on from a job. Jupiter entering Leo will expand your family, friends, popularity. If you work in the entertainment industry, you're going to see a huge increase of maybe sales that day, but like what you're creatively expressing is enormous for the next 12 months. Next, I'm going to move on to the fixed signs. So fixed signs, we'll start with you, Aquarius. This is all about basically work, career, like the services you provide are really dramatically expanding. You could get a promotion the beginning of the month, June 9th. Love is coming in, a little bit of a power struggle, there. Venus opposite Pluto. You know, I think it could be hard to get people to see your side of the story, but I think that, you know, it's nothing that you can't handle. Gemini new moon is great for love, creative projects, planting new seeds, new ideas. The ruler of the moon is in Cancer, which is your work, so I think that that is expanding. Mars is in your 4th house. It's sextile the ruler of this moon, so this is like thinking about expanding your home somewhere, because Mercury is going to be conjunct Jupiter very soon, like the end of the month. And then we have that Mercury retrograde happening in Cancer too. So going back over old work projects, what have you not finished? This could be like a time when you really like nurture yourself also, because it's your physical body and your health. It's like you kind of reprioritize things there. You get reorganized about your work and your day-to-day habits. So like perfect time to do that. You could bump into some old co-workers, people that you used to work with. Or like they just kind of reach out to you and you're like, oh my God, who are you? I haven't seen you in ages. The full moon in Capricorn, well, that's your 12th house. So it's ending, closure, healing. It's a big one. It's kind of like accepting the past, because the sun in Cancer is definitely the past, whilst Mercury retrograde is there, and moving on. You might have a conversation that day, clear the air. I do think it could be like a family member trying to have a hard word on you also, or vice versa. A sibling, catching up with a sibling, I think at the end of the month, or like an old friend, yeah. And you might not see eye to eye, but it will restructure your relationship with them, and like also kind of like the future of your home. Because I feel like with Chiron entering Taurus, and then, you know, the sun is kind of reflecting what needs healing in the home. So just be aware of that. Like, it's definitely a spiritual awakening. And then Jupiter entering Leo is you're gonna meet someone in the next 12 months, and you're gonna meet some powerful partners. So just be prepared for a lot of people wanting your attention. Okay, Leo. This is all about spiritual awakenings. A spiritual mentor might come in the beginning of the month. Someone secretly hands you a lot of money. It's kind of like behind the scenes. This is one of the luckiest financial months for you. This is one of the best months of the year. So that new moon in Gemini will make you very popular. Very popular. Then with the sun entering Cancer, you're kind of manifesting anything you want. June 21st, it's kind of like, oh, I realize now. It gives you a new direction, the sun in the 12th. It gives you a new perspective. It gives you new ideas. And I like it for mental health. So, and then, but Mars entering Gemini, you could argue with some friends, June 28th, end of June, especially when Mercury retrograde in Cancer. It's like going back over with friends, arguing with friends about past agreements. You could reconcile. And then that full moon in Capricorn, you're done with the way you show up, your habits. It's like you are, okay, so you have Saturn in your 9th house. That's like, I think that for some of you with, okay, it can be to do with having a conversation with family. They reveal to you kind of like their plans and how they're moving forward, but for a lot of you it's just literally just moving on from like how you show up every day. You could quit your job. Pets are coming up as well, like taking care of your pets. You might have to take care, you have to just, in rare cases, say goodbye to a pet, but like, you know, for some of you, you've just got to take care of your pets. And then when Jupiter enters your sign the end of the month, it is your time to shine, center of attention, a lot of luck and abundance. You're the luckiest sign for the rest of the year, all the way through to 2027. You're the star of the show. Money, opportunity, everything. Travel. Jupiter in the first is wonderful, and it's what you've been wanting and needing. It's going to give you a lot of hope and restore your faith at the least. Taurus, this month is about your voice, projecting your voice, work agreements, travel. Siblings are coming in as well, reconnecting with your siblings. Happiness, joy, like restoring your faith about the future of your home, expanding your home. Expanding your career, like career is looking amazing for you as well. So yeah, this is I think you're going to get some news June 9th. There's a lot of going back over past agreements this month with Mercury in Cancer, and that new moon in Gemini is new money, new ways of earning money, your new services, your new routine. Everything is changing there. Like how you show up like for work, like that whole routine of how you show up for work, that's all changing. Sorry if I'm like trying to like getting through this quick. I can just see the timer on the clock, and last time my camera just shut down, and I was like, because I'm still getting used to the camera and like how it operates, and like it's a memory thing and blah blah blah, but like it was, I think it was like 41 minutes, and I was like, what the fuck. It just shut down, and then I just wanted it to flow. Anyway, I'm just gonna try and get through these. But yeah, so Mars entering Gemini, you could be arguing over money, arguing over values, kind of June 28th. But Mars moves the fuck out of your sign, which is great for you. There's just, Mars and Uranus are going to be together in your, okay. just be careful with spending money the end of June. Like, you could take some rash action. Just think about it before you do it, because Mercury's retrograde and that's your money ruler. Think about where you're putting your money. The full moon in Capricorn is really, really good for travel. Oh, you could be done living somewhere, living in a location where you've lived for years. You're like, I'm done living here, I'm moving on. Just saying goodbye to an old perspective as well. Like, this is a big reality check for you. A big reality check. Like, I think you're really letting go of the way that you kind of possibly see a family member. The sun rules your 4th house, and it's like the moon is opposing the sun. I think you want to move. So yeah, and then Jupiter enters Leo, and that is your 4th house. So I definitely think a lot of you could be moving and buying a house or having babies in the next couple of years. Next we have Scorpio. Scorpio, this is all about your big new horizons, your big dream. Venus conjunct Jupiter, you could be committing to traveling new places. I think that this is an agreement that you're going to make with someone that changes what you do for a living. June 9th. And then Venus enters Leo, which is excellent for your career. So new career opportunities this first beginning of the month. New moon in Gemini is great for new intimacy in a partnership, more emotional flow, work agreements, networking. With Mercury in the 9th house, that's like you could be, that it's a lot of travel and education and like knowledge and stuff. Mars entering Gemini really does kind of bring you a lot of clarity in your partnerships and agreements. So you kind of know what to expect from each other, like what your expectations are, which is quite nice because it does clear the air. Mercury retrograde will be happening for you in the 9th house. So kind of going back over old communication, possibly with extended family members, like sister-in-laws, brother-in-laws, but just going back over travel plans too, and how, and family security, emotional family security. The full moon in Capricorn, so you're trying to just get the final word in, is what it looks like. Like, you're trying to be like, oh, I'm having the final say on something that's been bothering you for years. Like, you're definitely releasing a chip off your shoulder that you've been carrying for a long time, possibly even since childhood, Scorpio. And I think that's really coming to the surface. Like, I'm just going to say, and one more fucking thing, like, especially with Mars in Gemini. Oh my God, that's so funny. The full moon in Capricorn, yeah, that's like you're putting an end to things with family members or however people perceive you. It's like, let's just cut the shit. I'm just going to be a blunt bitch, which you are good at. And I think that will really clear the air. Yeah, be very good for you. Jupiter entering Leo will be, oh, this is your career time. This is the time when, like, what you've been known for as well is changing. Like, all that is changing. Your public reputation is changing. Like, forget the career you know, that is changing. So get ready for a whole huge expansion there. Now we're going to move on to the mutable signs. So Virgo, this is massive for support from your friends the first bit of June. Massive for like people, friends being generous with you. Could go viral, a lot of you on the internet if you have a business. Like, June is quite deep for you. It's definitely a rest period. You're kind of resting. You're taking your account of things. You're accounting for things. You're going back over. For some of you, it's like how you spend money, how your approach to money, your approach to your friends, and like there is a whole new kind of beginning for you in your career. I think that it's like you could be saying goodbye to like a group organization, like they're sort of sending you off. The sun entering Cancer, well, like yeah, like you're on a new voyage, and I think you're kind of accepting that from like the end of June. You're like, no, I'm moving in this direction now. Like I have new long-term goals, dreams. The full moon in Capricorn, you could finish a creative project, something that you've been maybe collaborating with someone on, because that's in your 5th house. You could be like done with a partnership or romance situationship. I think you're very much deciding on a new pathway for yourself. But there is some news coming in with family, because Jupiter is starting to oppose Pluto. It's going to change things at home. Jupiter rules your home. Whoa, that's massive for you, Virgo. I'm like, I actually feel like June is the month where there's your life now, but then after that, it's like your life don't look the same. There's something that's returning to you. It's kind of like owed to you. Wow. Okay. Do what you will with that information. And then Jupiter entering Leo is like a spiritual mentor, your mind expanding, seeing karmic patterns, having like visions, dreams, understanding who you are at your core, what you're here to do, what you're here for, the meaning of life, like reconnecting with your soul's purpose. It's like awakening you to like the reality that there's so much more to life than just this. And this is just a very small piece of the puzzle. It's like connecting with the universe and understanding that this is just a very small piece of it. So it's pretty massive. It really does change you, Jupiter in Leo in the 12th. I also think you'll be very charismatic. Gemini, money is just the money is going to be very good. Like this is one of the best months for money. Brand new you, girl. New moon in Gemini. I think you're going to be healing some wounds because Chiron's moving into your 12th house, but it's liberating you. It's like, oh, it actually, I think you're going to be releasing a lot of emotion that even you weren't aware of. It's kind of like, this is what your soul owes you this. This is massive for your spiritual journey. And I think that you're going to feel like a whole new person by the end of this month. And you're going to be very surprised at the changes that come into play here. But the new moon in Gemini is massive. It's it's the first new moon since Uranus moved in your sign. It's enormous for that new beginning that's happening until 2033. Your identity, the way you move, you're surprising people. Like, yeah. The full moon in Capricorn, that's your 8th house. Big emotional release, because at least you get it's a relief. There's massive relief coming in. It could be to do with a friend actually that you haven't heard of in a while, or it'd be like an old friend. I'm definitely an old friend or neighbor or sibling for some of you, but I feel like you're just closing a chapter there with an agreement. Yeah, you're kind of done with a partner. It's good for your passive income. It's good for like your income. I just think you're done earning one way of earning money in terms of how you work too. And Jupiter entering Leo will expand your voice and travel and agreements for the next year. You know, very charismatic, very big. You should wear blue though. Wearing blue will help you. Pisces. We've got Pisces and Sagittarius. So this is love, romance, creativity. There's a lot of that coming in. Reconnecting with family members, the direction of your family. Yeah, it's a beautiful beginning for you. Everyone's appreciating you for your creative talents. I think you could be finishing some beautiful artistic work. Definitely reconnecting with family. Saturn is very much activated in June with that full moon. I'm just thinking now, fucking hell, oh my God, okay. Even I'm getting, like, as I'm doing this, I'm like, okay. Yeah, so there is a big highlight at home. There's new beginnings at home for you. That new moon in Gemini is going to be like just the thing that just the thing that you didn't expect. Like, oh, that's happening. Okay, well, it could be a family member returning to you, but there's a shift in your home dynamic. And then Mars entering Gemini, like there's a lot of movement at home. There's a lot of movement with siblings. There's a lot of movement there, travel plans, especially with Mercury retrograde. If you're going to commit to travel, do it at the beginning of the month. And then like full moon in Capricorn. Yeah, it's kind of like contract fulfilled. Like that's done. Moving on next. Because it's in the 11th house, you could, like, there's some stuff going on with friends and groups and organizations, but it's kind of like money as well. You're just kind of done, like, earning a certain way or dealing with someone, I think that you're stepping into your authority. Like, you're like, no, I actually want to work for myself now, or it's like you're taking ownership. You want more power for you, which is what you'll get. And then Jupiter entering Leo, definitely you're ruled by Jupiter, so like you'll feel such a shift the end of June, like, because that's your planetary ruler, but you'll feel more strong and well within yourself for the next 12 months, and your career will change big time. And then the last zodiac sign is Sagittarius. So Sag, money's good, passive income, the beginning of the month, resources. Venus conjunct Jupiter is so good for someone gifting you something. You're reeking of like charisma, magnetism with Venus entering Leo, because that really impacts your 9th house, and you're a fellow fire sign. So yeah, you're like very much... I think you could be trying to sell something or put the hard sell on someone, or you're receiving that energy a little bit from June 13th, just because Venus is opposite Pluto. But it's absolutely brilliant for like meeting new people and new experiences coming in, new travel, and just, yeah, like opening your mind, which is what you love. It's the house that you naturally rule. So Venus, you put Venus there and like you instantly glow up also. You could be fighting with partners like the end of the month, just because Mars is in Gemini, and like that definitely energizes your 7th house, and it could be an old partner as well, like an ex. The full moon in Capricorn, well, you could get a payout that you've been waiting for. This is all to do with bills, like bills. Not that you will have to, although for some of you it might be like a debt that you need to pay, but I do think like you're kind of getting paid out also, because the moon naturally rules the 8th house, and Jupiter is opposing Pluto there. So it's like you're kind of agreeing with, there's an agreement being made, but it's still good for your finance. So I just think you're done with a certain way of earning money. And then Jupiter entering Leo is when you're going to travel, you're going to do, this is to do with immigration. Like a lot of you could immigrate, move country, like go global. Like if you're also like if you're a content creator, this is new audiences. It's absolutely massive, but for the next 12 months, that is. So that's everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to like, share and subscribe. And I am new to YouTube, so leave a comment below, please share. And yeah, have a fantastic June. I wish you all the best. Love, money and abundance. Bye.